After adopting 2 children, a mother learns their true identities after several months. A Colorado single mother adopted 2 kids, but she eventually learned the true identities of the kids after many months. How will this impact her? Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Like other women, she was already in her 30s and desired a family, but she didn't think she would be able to fulfill her dream at that point. After the divorce, she was going through a trying time in her life and wasn't sure what to do next. Nevertheless, she remained determined to realize her ambition. Katie relocated from Alabama to Colorado in order to start over, taking a position in the commercial sector. She also purchased a home that required remodeling, but she intended to handle the work herself. Even though the makeover would be expensive, she felt confident in her choice. There were in fact 4 rooms in the home, and Katie lived alone. She felt as though something was lacking in her life as a result of this. She was taking her time so she could make the best choice, even though she knew she could do something about her circumstances. She was pretty busy repairing her house in her spare time, but it didn't provide her with the fulfillment she was seeking. She'd believed that getting a new career and purchasing a home would give her bravery and a fresh perspective on life, but none of that had been sufficient. Even though she had always desired children, she struggled with infertility. She was searching for alternative opportunities to become a mother because she was already in her 30s. This gave her the notion to register as a foster mother and contact child shelters. She wanted to adopt a child of her own since she loved them so much. She felt a bit uneasy about the concept, but she was also warm to the thought that it may work. She firmly believed that this was her vocation. This is the adventure Katie decided to take on Mother's Day. She felt pleased about filling out the applications to become a foster parent. This was the action that would alter her life irrevocably. With her arms wide open for whatever could come next, Katie knew she had made the correct decision. Foster children began to stream in shortly after that. Not only were they abandoned kids, but they had also experienced trauma in the past. Katie was always willing to help the kids after hearing their experiences. She was already caring for 4 children inside the year. The need to adopt a kid grew even more intense. She wanted more, even though she adored being a foster parent. She also aspired to be a mother for life. The time it took for her to fulfill her goal wasn't even that lengthy. She informed the organization of her desire to adopt, and she received a call in less than 2 weeks. That was over quickly. She received a call regarding a toddler who had been left behind by his biological mother at a neighboring hospital. Even though the baby was only 4 days old, Katie knew she wanted this child. That night, before she went to bed, she prayed hard to God for the opportunity to become that child's mother. Katie was holding the baby in her arms just a day after receiving the call. This infant was significantly younger than the 14-day-old she had previously cared for. That didn't matter though. She was ready to assist him if he needed it. The baby's abandonment made her very upset, but that wasn't the worst of it. After a few tests, the physicians discovered that the baby had medicines in his system. But Katie was glad to learn that these pills would not affect him in the long run. Katie gave this kid a very adorable name since she was totally devoted to him. Grayson is the name she gave him. Her favorite boy's name was Grayson. It was impossible for Katie to convey the connection she felt with Grayson. He felt like her own child since she loved him so much. Unbeknownst to her, Katie has exceptional parenting skills. This gave her even greater inspiration to adopt Grayson. She was instantly ready for anything. She raised Grayson to the best of her ability since he had a particular place in her heart. The charity continued searching for the baby's biological parents in the meantime, but they were unable to be located. At the age of 11 months, Grayson was formally adopted by Katie. Katie had anticipated a happy life with her kid. Because of the medicines in his system, Grayson required a lot of care, and Katie was there for him at all times. However, she continued to feel incomplete, so she chose to adopt a second child when Grayson was 18 months old. Although she desired a larger family, she continued to see to it that her kid got the medical attention he needed in the interim. A month after adopting Grayson, she received a second call, proving that she had adequate space in the home for a larger family. She had no idea that this call would permanently alter her and Grayson's life. In the same hospital where Grayson had been abandoned as a newborn, there was another infant. It was a girl named Hannah this time. Katie knew right away that she had to assist this infant as well. Like Grayson, Hannah had drug residues in her system as well. How ironic that. While Katie was aware that Hannah needed her assistance, her son was on her mind as well. That day, she made many calls, but her instinct kept urging her to assist Hannah. She also took in Hannah in this way because it was such an odd sensation that she was unable to control. She discovered that Hannah's birth mother shared the same name as Grayson's as she took Hannah into her arms. Is this really a coincidence? Examining the records, she discovered that in addition to sharing the same name and birth date, Hannah also had some of Grayson's medical traits. Is it possible that their mothers were the same? Despite their dissimilar appearances, Katie had a suspicion that the kids may be connected. Katie realized there was more to this story, but since Grayson had a different father, it would be challenging to learn the whole truth. This time, Katie made the initiative to find her children's biological mother. When she finally made contact with Hannah's original mother after months of seeking, she understood right away that this was also Grayson's mother. However, how is this even possible? This kind of event seldom ever occurs. She learned the true identities of the youngsters throughout the chat. She was informed about Grayson by her original mother, who had dropped her off at the hospital. Additionally, Katie saw that Grayson resembled her in several ways. Following the meeting, Katie sent all of the information she had on the woman and her kids to the charity. The children's relationship was becoming increasingly apparent, but only a blood test could definitively establish it. As it turned out, the DNA test results showed that Grayson and Hannah shared the same mother. They were sibling and sister. The fact that Katie has managed to bring these two kids under one roof astounds her beyond belief. Was it more fate-like, or was it truly fate? And your thoughts? Katie was really amazed by her good fortune and contentment. She would never have realized that Grayson had a sister if she hadn't taken Hannah in, and Hannah would have ended up living with a different family. Luckily, she continued hearing from her instincts to assist Hannah. This was a major miracle in Katie's life, and she was ecstatic to learn the true identities of the kids. Her desire was for them to be together since that was what was best for them. It wasn't by accident that they had been brought together. She was fast to intervene to save them from being divided since she didn't want them to be separated. She saw how happy the kids made each other, and she had already fallen in love with Hannah. The next action she needed to do was obvious. Soon after, she became formally the mother of both Hannah and her adoptive child. This was excellent. At last, Katie felt whole and was unable to put her excitement and happiness into words. Katie had always dreamed of becoming a mother, but when she began her journey as a foster parent, she had no idea that something so exquisite and extraordinary had already been waiting for her. Though she wasn't sure how things would transpire, she was confident that she could fulfill her ambition. Hannah seemed to have always been a part of Grayson and her life, fitting right in. At first, Katie was thrilled to assist Grayson, but it didn't seem to be enough. Although the adoption of Hannah and Grayson ended their foster relationship, Katie's life was far from over. She felt that God was using her to bring the two children back together. Katie was a natural mother and enjoyed raising these children, but the adoption did not mark the end of her journey as a foster parent. When Hannah was 13 months old, she received another unexpected phone call concerning Grayson and Hannah's biological mother. All of these questions were racing through Katie's mind. What was wrong with her? Did she want her kids back? Fortunately, there was good news to report. The biological mother had given birth to another boy. Although Katie had not intended to have a third child, she could not rule out having one either. So she took some time to consider her options and ultimately decided to adopt Jackson. Like Hannah, Jackson was the ideal addition to the family, and the three of them are now growing up in a loving home. However, the foursome has now grown to 5 members. Katie has been seeing a man who assists her with the kids for more than a year. She just launched a business on top of her hectic life with her family, career, and other commitments. Now that she has all she needs in life, she is looking to employ a babysitter. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.